Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all your listeners. And I'm doing great, thank you.
Well, but Washington, not doing so great. I know I was kind of making light of the government shutdown there, but given the fact that the Democrats now have the House of Representatives, that Nancy Pelosi is once again Speaker, what chance of any kind of compromise on immigration and or the wall is there?
There has to be something done. If you just look at the number of people coming from Central America to the United States on a monthly basis, I mean, a caravan of 10,000 people in some cases, rushing the border, climbing over the border, getting hurt when they climb over the border. Something has to be done. So I'm hoping that now that Pelosi is Speaker, she has a little bit more latitude, and we can come up with some sort of compromise.
But Dr. Bill,
it's not a lot of money that we're talking about.
The Democrats are in favor of that open border. They
are in favor, but they should be more in favor of keeping Americans safe and secure. That's the bottom line. How do we keep Americans safe and secure? And having thousands of people come illegally and then melting into our country once they arrive is not the recipe to keep us safe and secure. So I'm hoping we can get some sort of compromise out of it.
I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, Dr. Bill. I just all the things that you and I are for and all of the positions that you just articulated, they are against. They don't want a wall. They want more illegal immigration. They want all of the things that you just said for the last 30 seconds are really bad for America, that you and I agree are bad for America.
So I think what the president has said, okay, if you're not going to agree with me on this, I know you like big government, and from the president's perspective, they are the party of big government, and that I can go on, but you get the point. And so he's trying to use this as leverage. We'll see if it works. Mitch McConnell has said right now it's up to Democrats to offer a compromise that the president will sign. And so we need Pelosi and Schumer to agree to that which the president will sign. Now, frankly, the president probably would accept less than $5 billion. I can't speak for him, but I can imagine that. If he could at least get something towards what is his priority, which is securing the southern border, we'll see how it goes.
Another one of the things that you have fought tirelessly for is federal flood insurance. And right now, in our part of the state, the water is arising. What's an update on that? How's that looking?
So when the government shut down, FEMA took that, and the National Flood Insurance Program took that to mean that they could not write new policies. And my staff and I looked at the law, and we said, time out. That's wrong. Your source of revenue is not coming from taxes. It's coming from premium payments. You can't continue to write this. They looked at the letter we sent. They said, Cassidy's right. And they've now begun to rewrite those policies. So we feel good about that. That's the way government should work, where it's not just some position of an attorney, but rather it's what the law says. And the law clearly indicated they could continue to write those policies. If you're buying a new home, you can still buy a policy if your policy is required for you to get your new home.
I want to go back to the government shutdown real quick, Senator, if you don't mind. I asked in this room, I've asked around the building, this government shutdown impacted you at all? You okay? You doing all right? Everybody's like, oh, yes, it hadn't impacted me at all. You know what? We can save a lot of money. Let's shut the government down for a few weeks every year. I'm good with that.
President Trump would be giving you a high five right now, Erin.
I know.
Well, 75% of the government is funded. The military is funded. Central government workers are funded. So all that is in place. Now, there are some areas that are not going to be funded. So, for example, the federal court system, if you've got a court case waiting in the federal court system, there will be some delay. On the other hand, I speak to most Americans, and they see securing our borders as such a priority that they are supporting the president. They would rather the government be open, but if this is what it takes to get some movement on securing our southern border, particularly with the caravans forming, it's kind of like hurricanes off the coast of Africa in the summertime. We're having caravans forming in Central America. And no one hates the people coming up here. It's just that a nation needs to be able to secure its border. And so that's the push right now.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Bill, a fellow you have become rather very close to over the last year or so is former Saints star Steve Gleason.
What a guy.
Who is suffering from amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and you are trying to get something done for him, a special award and honor. Tell us about that.
You're right in everything you just said, except that we are not trying. Rather, we succeeded, and it's been signed in. The highest award Congress can give is called the Congressional Gold Medal. And folks who have received it have been like Douglas MacArthur and Jackie Robinson and Mother Teresa, folks who have made such an incredible impact upon our country. Steve Gleason just received that, and it's something I and Ralph Abraham, Mike Johnson, and others pushed and succeeded in getting. He received it not for being a football hero, but because after he was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, he used his fame to work to help find a cure, to set up research networks, to provide more support for those with ALS and other forms of neuromuscular disease, to become an advocate in general for those who are disabled. So he is the first American who is differently abled who has been so honored by the Congressional Gold Medal. And I think it was just one of the good things that came out of Congress at the end of last year.